So last session, we actually, the process that we were to work on over the last couple of weeks was the whatever is contained in this box is. Okay, it's funny because like I shared with everybody last time, I'm actually embarking on this new journey of the band, and we have officially deemed our band name as the McCarty Party Project. So so that's what it's going to be. But it's funny because as much as I wanted to put more effort into my whatever is contained in this box is, I feel as though I'm actually living living out what my desires have been. And so I've been really full with working on that project, but definitely lots of things in the box regarding the growth of the band, regarding the original songs that we put out, regarding potential venues we might play. In that box somewhere, I will be touring Seattle in July. So I have been having some fun with it as I've been exploring this new and fantastic project that has come into my life. So I feel like I'm living what would be in the box. So it's been a really cool couple of weeks for me. I feel like it's just been a couple of weeks of lots of fun and exciting newness. How about you guys? Anybody else? How have the last few weeks gone for you?
I can speak a little bit about this. So I personally don't like those vision boards. And I personally like to have my imaginary treasure box with those ideas. And besides that, I have actual box where I would put some ideas. But recently, probably for last 18 months or so, I'm also using like my imaginary box. And what I like about it, that whenever the new ideas would come in, I would say, okay, you go to this my imaginary box where those other ideas are already playing with each other.
Yeah.
And whenever I feel like it could be that new idea came in, or somebody is inspiring with their ideas, then I would just revisit my imaginary box, and I'm like thinking, oh, remember this idea, and then this idea, look how they can play with each other, and how exciting it could be. And recently, I think probably from the time when Sonia showed up, and then I met Sonia, and then I met lovable, sophisticated Sonia, and lovable Leo, and charismatic Christina, and a bunch of other people. I started to receiving some ideas about different type of collaborations. Like, how can I collaborate with Christina? How can I collaborate with Sonia? How can I collaborate with Leo? And those ideas kind of popping up time by time, and each and every time I'm feeling this excitement, which is exactly the goal, And I recently got even a thought that, wow, really, if that excitement that I had been experiencing just thinking about those people and what kind of cool ideas we might have together, or cool projects we might have together, really, it doesn't matter if those projects will come alive. I'm sure that something will come alive, but just this time when I got this excitement and had been living in my virtual reality, having this mutual project with each of you is already a thing which is kind of raising my vibrations, raising my excitement about all of this. So I thought I would share this, as some people might use this idea as well.
Yeah, I think that that's great. And you know, when you're out and about, you don't necessarily have a box that you're carrying around with you.
Yeah.
So kind of keeping that imaginary box out there is a perfect way to be able to play with this process while you're out and about.
Yeah.
I think that's so great. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, Sonia. And then we'll get to Mari. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to mention that I've really been focusing on the idea that our creations are us. We are creating ourselves. And so when we say, I'm doing this work to create the things that I want, what it is that I'm creating is me having the things that I want. I'm creating me. So I'm not creating the opportunities or I'm creating me. I'm creating me having the vibration, the matching frequency to all of that I want. And so when I'm putting those things in the box, I'm reminding myself that I'm not creating the KitchenAid mixer. I'm creating me with the KitchenAid mixer. I'm creating me with that sense of satisfaction that I've got the tools that I need when I'm in my kitchen having fun. I'm creating me. I'm not creating that stuff. I'm creating me. And so when I'm putting those things into the box, that's what I'm focusing on, that it is me. It's my frequency that I'm working on here. I'm not working on stuff. I'm working on me.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, real quick, thank you for sharing that. And before we go to Mari real quick, I just want to kind of tack onto that. I had my spiritual coaching session this last week, and I was telling her how my focus is on joy. My focus is on joy. And she said, why is your focus on joy? Just be it. And it was like, ding, 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 you know, it clicked. And then, of course, so funny, Michael, your dad, I actually went up north this weekend and listened to him in person at the Global Center for Christ Consciousness. And he was also talking about the same thing, you know, being it versus, you know, putting focus on it. And I think that kind of resonates with what you were sharing. Mari?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. Okay, so for me, I pretty much did what Christina did as well. It just worked out of my manifestation because, you know, the last, I think it was like when I was in this group, you know, a very first time, I think we did the manifestation, the magic creation box. Is that similar?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So I actually have it right here next to me. And now I'm thinking it's pretty big. It's filled up. I had to take everything out just to show it. I can't even lift it. It's got so much stuff in it.
That's awesome. You have all kinds of things in the vortex.
Everything goes in there, right? Exactly. So yeah, you know, and I'm living out of it pretty much. It's interesting how that can happen.
Thank you.
And what's interesting too is if for some reason I'm sitting and I'm, you know, just like, okay, well, Mary, what can you do to relax besides meditation and just sit still, I go to my box and get something out that, it. So anyways,
That's
it's fun. I'm having fun with the big old box.
Good, good. That's how it should be. We should be having fun with all of this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Leo?
Okay, are you ready for this?
We are ready.
All right. So I thought to myself the other day, what if I could become the embodiment of the vibration of the intention of the manifestation? So instead of the vision board or the vision box being out on the outside of me, I become the vision board. I become the vision box because it's all within me anyway, right? So the other day, I thought that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can embody that somehow. So I received an invitation to go to a picnic potluck in the park. So I go to that, and as I'm getting ready to leave, my intuition said to me, Leo, you should wear the Reiki shirt, the one with the Japanese symbols on it. And I thought, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to trust that. So then I go there, and there's people there, and they're having a potluck picnic in the park. And then from out of nowhere, these people show up, and then the person who was organizing it said, yeah, we have 2 foreign exchange students here from Japan. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And they said, yeah, they want to practice their English. And I thought, well, that's cool because I want to learn more Japanese. So I stood up and I showed them my shirt, and here I'll show you real quick. So I got my shirt, and it's got the I don't know if you can see that too good. It's got the Reiki symbols on it, right? So she sees it and she says, "Ooh, Reiki." I said, "How do you know what that means?" And she's like, "Well, that's Japanese." I'm like, "You know Japanese?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "How do you know that?" She said, "Well, I'm from Japan." I'm like, "I know, I'm just joking with you." And so I was pretty cool. So like we all had we all ate, and then I noticed that the 2 of them were sitting alone and no one was paying them any attention. And I thought, I can't let that happen. So I go over there and I said, "Hey, would you like to practice some of your English?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "I'd like to learn some Japanese." And so they taught me some, and I've been practicing here. Konnichiwa, suki na iro wa nan desu ka? So that means, hello, what is your favorite color? So they taught me that, and they wrote it down, and like they helped me with like the pronunciation and everything. And then she says to me, how are you so good at that so fast? And I'm like, I don't know. I must be a natural. Like I worked really hard on it,
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're college students, going to school here. And she said to me, yeah, she goes, I like going to school, but it's tiring going from one class to the next. I'm like, oh, you're going to ASU? She said, yeah. I said, so you got to walk from one end of the campus over to the other? She's like, we don't have schools like that where I'm from, they're a lot smaller. I said, well, what you need is an electric scooter. She's like, I do? I said, yeah, I have one with me. I have an electric scooter. She's like, you do? I said, yeah. I go, have you ever ridden one? She's like, no. I said, would you like to learn? And they both went, yeah, So then I showed them how to ride the electric. They were loving it. They were loving it. They're riding it. They're taking video with their phones and everything. And I said, this is what you need so you can get around campus a lot easier. She goes, oh, she goes, I want one of these. So it was good. So we hung out and we spoke some more, and they like the US, you know, and that was a really nice experience,
Yeah.
you know, because I trusted my intuition. I showed up, you know, I'm lovable Leo. I'm the ambassador here, and now it's inspired me because see, now I want to learn more Japanese.
Right.
You know, right. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, you go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, I'm just throwing out that that concept of becoming the essence of the vibration. And if you want to do the vision board and the vision box, I mean, that's fine too. But if you can become it, then things change, you know, it changes your environment because you're already vibrating at it,
Yeah.
because it's all happening internally. But no, that was that was a good time.
Yeah. That sounds like
So
a good time.
yeah, you know, so and also I just want to mention real quick that ever since Elena has been calling effervescent Elena has been referring to me as lovable Leo, I just keep saying it to myself every day. I'm lovable. I'm lovable Leo, right? And then what happens is things tend to move that way.
Yeah.
You know, people will be walking their dogs and the dog will just stop and then just come right up to me. Because if you keep telling yourself that, you become it.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
So cool. Yes, Mari.
I just have a comment for Leo. Leo, that is totally an incredible story. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
But my daughter, who just graduated from U of A, her boyfriend graduated from ASU, and they banned those on campus. But
Oh.
no, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. What happened is they banned
I can
at
just
a,
see the
I know,
exchange students though getting in trouble. Oh, it's
right?
Leo, lovable Leo's problem.
Lovable Leo told me I could. Well, you know what's interesting? A lot of universities started banning them because people were using them in a way that they're not designed to be used.
Yeah.
But I did read on the ASU website that you can ride them around there after school hours. You know, so it just kind of depends, and you have to. And they have speed limits set up and all that sort of thing. And there's certain areas you can't, you know. But I told them, I said, hey, if you ever want to, you know, do that, you can. You just have to kind of find out where and when you can do all that stuff. So, but I know it's that's funny.
Funny. Any other wonderful stories or observations over the last couple of weeks that anybody else would like to share?
I just wanted to say, kind of with what had been said, really such exciting and what is a better word even for this kind of, it's not just, it's exciting and it is so fulfilling that we being in different groups, being encouraged and maybe just picking up hints, borrowing some ideas from each other, are doing constantly, on constant base, our internal work and look at the results.
Yeah.
You know, like what Leo just, his testimony, and I'm sure that everybody can give us an example of how things are changing in their life when you're doing all of this work, like, you know, kind of thinking and guiding yourself into what is a better feeling thought. Wait a minute, let me see. And then you start thinking about this, and then you're doing this little exercise, or, you know, working with treasure box, whatever it is, or maybe doing some other exercises. And all of those discussions in our meetings are helping each other again to raise vibrations. And look at the kind of those little and big things that are happening here. They all help us to expand even more. And what Sonia was saying while she was speaking, like, yeah, doing this exercise or playing with this treasure box, we might think at the beginning when we learn each of those practices that, well, okay, I will do this practice, or well, okay, I will exercise a little bit more, thinking that we are exercising to kind of for the sake of the exercise, when in fact, all of this is helping us to do our internal work and therefore to expand. And of course, because of that, because of changing the vibration, because of changing shifting our energies, the transformation happens on all levels in each area. That's why people would come, and I would say the same thing, you know, like sometimes I'm walking in a park, kind of either doing or not doing exercise, but whenever people are vibrating, whenever I'm vibrating higher, people look at me and even turn their heads and they want to talk to me because they see this light in us and they are attracted to this light. They want to talk to the person who is lighting up with the love, with the expansion, with this positive attitude, with this kind of greatness that we're carrying. So I want to just congratulate everybody. This is so cool. Such an excitement. Yes,
I
thank
agree.
you everybody
Yes,
for your
absolutely.
awesomeness and for being here. This, you know, as Lovable Leo said, being that amazing ambassador of light and love, carrying it with you. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you so much. Yes, Leo.
And you know,
Oh,
oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't see
that's okay.
the hands up. I just want to say to Elena, in line with what you just said, gathering with those of us who have these like intentions and the energy that we bring to it. Abe is coming to Phoenix next month, and I'm going,
Oh,
and I'm going to be hanging with everybody, and
yes.
that awesome energy is going to be there, and it's already building, and I can already feel it, and it's awesome. And is anybody else going?
No, by the time I went to check into it, it was already sold out. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm so excited that you're going, and I'm maybe what we could plan to do, if you're willing, maybe the meeting after that, instead of a meeting, we could have a Sonia as our presenter. You could share with us about your experience if you would like to do that. I would love that.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
I have a little hint about this. What I would do if you really, Christina, or whoever else, wanna go on this workshop, even when they are sold out, you know, people change plans or whatever happens, if you call to the office, you may be in their wait list.
Okay. That's good
And
to know.
so if somebody cancels, you may pick up the ticket.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. Yes, Leo.
Okay, I got one more little tidbit here. So, as I was getting ready to leave, I said to both of them, "Is this the most fun you've had since you've been in the U.S.?" And they were both like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, bonsai." They're like, "Bonsai," you know. And then she said to me, she goes, "Where'd you learn bonsai?" I'm like, "That's from the movie The Karate Kid." She's like, "Oh yeah, Karate Kid." That's fun. I'm like, "Come on, you know, you pick up a little here and there."
Yeah,
But that coincides with what I've been saying for a while. How much better can it get? You know, like just raising the vibration, and then you go another step and another step and another step, because I wanted to be able to have us all walk away from that like, yeah, that was time well spent, you know. That was really good. So now when they eventually go back to Japan, they're gonna say, yeah, we met this guy with the Reiki shirt and the scooter and the da 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 da, because yeah, lovable Leo, he's the intergalactic daydreaming ambassador. So
For the
that was fun.
experience from all over the universe.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think if we are at a place, I think now would be a good time for us to settle into our meditation. And so I am the one that's going to be facilitating the meditation for this evening. Before we start that though, do I have anyone that would like to volunteer to provide our meditation for next session? Mari. Very clearly no from Mari. Okay, I will do the meditation for next time. And let's see here.
I might be able to do that. Let me connect with you a little later on that.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'll plan to do it unless I hear from you. And if I do hear from you, then we will switch it up and let you be the one.
Yeah, whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm okay to go. Not exactly next time, kind of whatever. If I'll let you know. Thank you.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you. Okay, let me go ahead and share screen.
And Christina, I
Yes.
always have meditations on hand. So if ever you need a break or if you need to assign it, you can always call me.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just thought it would be fun to allow others to share, you know, from themselves. And so, but I don't ever want it to be a pressure thing. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But if ever you want to volunteer, you're more than happy to. And then if I need help, I know I can call on you for backup. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to do tapping meditation for this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and put the tapping up on the screen. I know that those of us that are on here are all familiar with tapping. So we will go ahead and go right into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a moment and calm into our center. And we are going to take a deep breath in, count to 5, hold at the top, and then let it out, count to 5, hold at the bottom. And breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. And one more time, breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Okay, we are going to do the check-in. And so we're going to start with the side of the hand. Sometimes I feel my emotions and judge them as bad. If I'm doing good work, then why do I feel this way? I get to feeling down and then get upset that I'm feeling down. But through all of this, I know that it's okay to love and accept myself just as I am. Okay, repeat after me, and with the eyebrow, it's okay to give my emotions a voice. Side of the eye, to acknowledge what I am feeling. Under the eye, understanding my emotions give me valuable information. Under the nose, no need to judge my feelings. Under the mouth, I can acknowledge how I feel and choose where to go from there. Collarbone, I am grateful for the guidance my emotions give me. Top of the head, to move up the emotional scale, one step at a time. No need to repeat after this, simply experience. Eyebrow. Close your eyes and take in a deep breath. Side of the eye. Allow your awareness to go into your heart. Under the eye, what thoughts come to your awareness? Under the nose, allow yourself to feel the emotions of the thoughts. Under the mouth, acknowledge the emotions without a story attached. Collarbone, give thanks for what it tells you. Top of the head, and let it go with love and light. Repeat after me. Eyebrow. So many different moments. Side of the eye. And yet the world around me is so beautiful. Under the eye, I feel peace in the trees. Under the nose, I feel the beauty of the wind in the air. Under the mouth, maybe I can remember this beauty within. Collarbone, if I am aware of the beauty out there. Top of the head, then I must know that it is also within me. No need to repeat after me on this, just simply experience. Eyebrow. Take in a deep breath. Side of the eye. Allow your awareness to go into your heart. Under the eye, what thoughts come to your awareness? Under the nose, allow yourself to feel the new emotions of the new thought. Under the mouth, does it feel good to you? Collarbone, give thanks for what it tells you. Top of the head, let it float on by with love and light. Repeat after me. Eyebrow, I can feel the beauty of the world within me. Side of the eye, I can see the light within my heart shining. under the eye. I am capable of choosing a new vibration. Under the nose, it only takes a moment to acknowledge my emotions. Under the mouth, and a moment to choose where I want to go from there. Collarbone, I am a vibrational being. Top of the head, and I can feel source within me. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Okay. All right, how are we all doing? All right, I think that we are probably in right vibration to go ahead and pull out the Abrahamster wheel and find out which chapter and which process we are going to be reading for tonight. So let's go ahead and take a few moments just to set good intention that whichever process and chapter is going to be of highest benefit for us this evening and over the next few weeks, we will receive.
Amazing guidance, Christina.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you.
Feels so good.
Good. Right. It looks like, whoop, we are going to be getting right back to the beginning with chapter 1 and process 1 for this evening. So let's see what we've got going on for tonight. I got so spoiled to Andy telling us which process we were going to read. So for this evening, we are going to be doing the Rampage of Appreciation process. And the chapter is titled The Power of Feeling Good Now. So I think that this is perfect to go along with all the high vibes we've been feeling this evening. So unless we have anything else that we would like to discuss before getting started, we can go ahead and get right into the first chapter. How does that sound? Good, good, okay. All right, let me go ahead and get this on screen.
Just all those words in this chapter, just like a song to my heart.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
You know, it's so funny because I know we all talk about this, about the idea that every time you read the book, you get something new out of it. And as we were reading here, you know, she says, you know, whatever you're now ready to receive, and everyone will get the same thing from this book. And I'm reading that as though I'm hearing it from them for the first time. And I'm going, oh, wow, look at that guy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right in the first chapter, it tells us what we have been experiencing throughout this process of doing this book study together. I think it's so cool. Mari.
Yeah, I was wondering if you can shed some light on the part that she says, this book will help you understand that you never, ever get it done. I have a hard time with that because I feel like, I don't know, to me, it's like, what is it that will never, ever get it done? What is anybody's thoughts on that?
Well-
I'm trying to understand it.
I'm gonna throw 2 cents in and then I'll go over to Elena if that's okay. We are expansive spiritual beings, right? And what we've been learning throughout the book study and what we're learning in our own lives is that it's not about the end game. It's not about the achievement. It's about the vibration that we hold during the journey. And being that we are co-creative beings, and that is our natural state, to be creative beings, even when you do achieve a goal, that's not the end, because you're going to have another spark of contrast and ideas and desires, and then you're going to be continuing to reach for something new. So we're never at the end of it. We're always, always in process of moving energy and evolving and changing and expanding. And so for me, that's what she means by that at this time. At least that's my understanding until a new one filters in, right? Okay, Elena and then Leo.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Christina. And I think that sometimes when we're speaking the same idea or giving some explanations about that at certain point we got deep down about this thought and the process. So to me, pretty much, as we all already know, the whole process, ask, it is given, not our job, then we need to allow it to happen, and we need to keep momentum going. So we're excited about receiving it, who knows when, but more excited we are, quicker it will come to us, right? So we all know this. And yet with the receiving what we desired, we getting into, along with that, or on the way of while we were waiting, we got into the contrast. When the contrast is showing up, that actually stimulates us for new asking, or maybe even if there is no contrast, it's still, life would bring something to us when we're ready for another asking. And of course, it kind of then expanding from the contrast, we get into asking again.
Yeah.
So it's like going not into circle, but to me, it's like going into spiral up more and more and more with more desires. And each and every time going through this 5-step process, we are expanding, then the spiral become wider and we're expanding more and more. So that's why there is no ending, because there is no ending of the desires, no ending of the questions that we still have to grow spiritually. So in my mind, there are 2 images of this, like it's never ending, because more we know, like if you think, so the image, one image for me is like, think about the sphere we have. And so everything that is inside of this sphere is our knowledge. And everything that is outside of this sphere is something that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
And so when we adding new knowledge, our sphere is growing, and more it is growing. Even if you think about the surface of the sphere, the surface of the sphere is growing too. And therefore, growing the awareness about how much we don't know. So there is never ending process of asking, therefore, never ending process of seeking for the answers, never ending process of expanding. And as Abraham also saying somewhere, when you don't have that, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
You're ready to transition because all of your desires or everything you set up as your goal to learn during this life journey is already done. Then you're ready to transition. So,
and even then, I'm sure it's just the beginning of a new expansion. So
yeah. So praise the Lord that we always we never wanted to get it done to kind of prolong our time here.
Yeah.
My 5 cents. Thank you.
Thank you. Leo?
Yeah, I was going to say two things. First, it's interesting the way Abraham describes themselves as like a collective of vibrational beings that come together because they're sensing each other's vibrations, and that they communicate with vibration because they're non-physical. And what's interesting is that's a recurring theme in Star Trek, where they go to these planets and they discover these alien life forms, and they're not physical. They're really, a lot of them are vibrational, and they communicate through vibration. So as I'm reading that, I'm like, well, yeah, I remember that. That's from Star Trek. So that's cool. And the second thing I was going to say is, yeah, I agree with what you and Elena say about the never-ending, infinite expansion, because human beings are always, goal-oriented. I got to achieve that goal. I gotta get the thing so I can do the thing, and da da da. And it seems what Abraham is pointing at is just getting inside the flow of the never-ending infinite flow. Just kind of like getting on that river, so to speak. Yeah, I agree. I think that's important. And as I'm studying this material more, that's really what I'm more interested in now. Isn't so much the manifestation of stuff, but just sort of maintaining that vibration so that your experience is always leaning towards that infinite expansion, because like you're already in it. What do they call it? Downstream? Is that what they say?
Yes.
You're
downstream.
You're traveling downstream.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can see why they stress the importance of that, and making it a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think also as we begin to learn, we realize that it is about the journey. It's not about the end game. Yeah. Yes, Sonia.
Thank you. The other thing I wanted to add, oops, you just put my hand down. The other thing I wanted to add to that was what I've gotten from the phrase that we never get it done is that even as we have a moment of life experience, in that moment of life experience, we realize what a new preference for ourselves would be. And that new preference is what we're putting into the vortex. But we have this lag of time where we send out that vibration of the new preference, but we don't match it yet. And so we work toward matching it. We're getting there. And then when we get there, even in that getting there, we have a new understanding because we're standing in a new place of perspective, and we have a new understanding of what our now new preference would be. And so we now have a new place to reach for. And so as Elena was saying, we don't want to get it done, because getting it done means no longer reaching for what is next, what is more, what is better, what is more now preferred. So in our physical form and also in our non-physical form, we continue to reach for what is now preferred. Now that I know what I know, what do I want to experience next? What would be the next best thing?
Yeah.
And that's our never getting it done part of us, because we will continue to reach for more, for better, for next.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. And I know I've heard of it. I've heard of that time where we're waiting for, the universe to orchestrate the manifestation. I hear that as the gap period, the gap time, the gestation. Any other thoughts or comments on the chapter before we move into the process? Okay, we'll get that up.
That was very cool, Leo.
Yes, it was.
Well,
very
well, I
That
got,
would be- And
yeah,
that
well, I
would
got,
that would be absolutely amazing, Christina, if we can echo and like 2-3 times in a row, like rampage
right.
of appreciation, rampage of appreciation, rampage of appreciation.
Well, I got that from you, Elena, the way you were reading.
Yeah.
I was, well, because sometimes I see the words on the page and I got to play it up a little bit.
Right. Okay.
Isn't that why we are here, to play?
Yes. Yes.
It's
Sonia?
our playground.
Oh, sorry.
There were just a couple of things that I wanted to reiterate. I thought were rather important from this chapter.
Okay.
The first thing was that this is not the process of finding something troubling and fixing it.
Yeah.
If that's where you're at, if you're in a place where you need to fix something, that's not what this is for. This is a process of practicing your higher vibration. So you are already in a high feeling place, and that's when this is going to be helpful. The other thing that I really loved in this chapter was that you cannot be defensive and appreciative at the same time. You
Mhm,
cannot be appreciative and anything else at the
mhm,
same time. You cannot be appreciative. You cannot be in appreciation and feeling any other kind of emotion simultaneously.
Yes.
Therefore, when you concentrate on appreciating, then appreciation comes right back.
mhm,
But you're not doing it so that appreciation will come to you.
mhm,
You want the feeling of appreciation to flow through you.
mhm.
And that is a huge distinction, because oftentimes, and I think this kind of taps into what I was saying earlier, we think that we're creating stuff, but we're creating frequency, we're creating an emotional state that will attract the stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we're gonna go to Mari and then Leo.
Okay, so what you guys are saying to do is not to be in the appreciative mode unless you're flowing, unless you're at a vibrational level, like she was saying. Because, okay, for example, I walked into Walmart today and it smelled really bad. And normally I don't, I really try to appreciate a lot of things, but it smelled so bad. How would you turn that around with this process?
I think, like Sonia said, this probably would not be the process to turn it around. This isn't a process of turning a negative, like trying to get from a negative to a positive. This is a process more when you are in the vibe to increase the vibe. that would be probably, I would say, better feeling thought, or which thought feels better. Maybe Sonia or Elena, maybe you have a suggestion on a different process that would be better fit.
Thank you. Yeah.
So in situation like that, like for me, personally for me, if something is bothering me this much, like that smell, for example, the only kind of close experience I had probably in this Value Village stores, I made a decision for myself not to go to those stores because I can't tolerate this smell. Kind of, it's bothering me. And so then I'm asking a question. I acknowledge how I feel. What can I do? What are my options? Can I appreciate something in here, kind of to soothe my feelings? If there is nothing comes to mind, I better leave the store and start looking for where could I go to really, where I wouldn't have that type of smell, you know, kind of, so I would feel better. I have a story kind of which goes into this, which was really kind of educational to me. I'll share this probably after Leo or Sonia. And it looks like Sonia has something to say about this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elena. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at Christina. She would go to Target.
Yeah. but I also did remember about the pivot table, and I thought, well, maybe the pivot table would be a good one, you know.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, but you cracked me up. Go to Target.
Okay, let's go to Leo and then Sonia.
All right, I got two tidbits. So first, it's interesting how earlier I was speaking about becoming the essence of the vibration. So instead of having a vision board or a vision box on the outside, you become that on the inside because it came from within you to begin with. And then reading the book, how Abraham speaks about, I forget the verbiage, but being in the flow of appreciation, becoming that. So you're becoming the essence of appreciation, and then you vibrate at that. So I thought that was interesting. And then a second bit is I'm fortunate in a way because I do not possess a very strong sense of smell. So when people say, "Hey, Leo, do you smell that?" I'm like, "Smell what?" They're like, "Oh, you can't smell that. It's terrible." I'm like, "No, like I don't smell it." So unless it's like really like strong, it doesn't even exist to me, right? Some people are colorblind. Some people are tone deaf. I have a deficit of smell, but in situations like that, I have something I use where I say, this smell is not my preference, but I'm grateful for the ability to smell.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm kind of like acknowledging that I don't like the experience I'm having. So I'm not trying to resist. I'm not actively resisting it. I'm just giving it a little acknowledgement. This is not my preference, but I'm grateful I can smell. But then I like your bit where it's like, well, all right, maybe I'll go to Target. maybe I'll come back here on another day. Maybe it'll smell better. But it's just kind of like acknowledging the space that you're in, but not diving headfirst into it and giving it all of your energy and attention, because then it's more and more and more, and then pretty soon you're standing there and you're just vibrating with this. I don't like this. I don't this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. This shouldn't be happening. I hate this. This is terrible. Because then you're actively resisting what's going on instead of a little acknowledgement and then a redirection. So if that helps at all.
I think that was very insightful. Thank you, Leo. And in
You're
some
welcome.
cases, what you would call a deficit would actually become your superpower, right?
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it when that happens. It's like, oh, I can't smell that terrible smell that's bothering you. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sonia?
It's funny that you would say that because my olfactory is my superpower. I can smell things that nobody can smell. I can tell you what the ingredients are into a dish because of my olfactory.
Oh,
Sonia, your voice is faded somehow.
it is a
You
little
are
low.
far away
Yeah.
from the phone,
it?
or
yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
you
moving up.
accidentally kind of lower your volume on the phone.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
No, my volume's turned all the way up. I may have just been covering it with my hand. I am on my phone.
You do sound clearer already. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So I was going to suggest to Mari that the wouldn't it be nice, or not wouldn't it be nice, but the which thought feels better process,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
pretty much what Leo was suggesting. Like you could stand there and complain about the smell, or you could be instead grateful that you can smell. That is exactly what which thought feels better is about. You're choosing. I could think about this right now, or I could think about this instead. And that's exactly what Leo was suggesting, which thought feels better.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. All right. Any other thoughts on the process that we're going to be practicing over the next couple of weeks, the Rampage of Appreciation? Okay, so
How are we doing on time? I can share either this time or next time. I have a really cool story about Rampage of Appreciation. Getting onto the Abraham Hicks cruise.
it's just after 8. So if you'd like to share, I think we're all okay to have a story real quick before we close out. Yes.
So my very first Abraham Hicks cruise, I wanted to go, and I thought of taking my mom onto cruise with me. And just because of when she's on kind of my side, it's easy for me. So I ask her, and each and every time she would find a bunch of excuses not to go. And then at a certain point, I thought, you know what, if you're not going, I am going. And when I checked the website, it was sold out. And I'm like, damn. And of course, I shared this with the group. And the group said to me similar suggestions like, call them, they have waiting lists, maybe somebody will cancel, nah. And so I had been manifesting this, sent texts, left voice messages to the office, and did not hear from them. And then one day I received a message from the lady who was in our Seattle Abraham Hicks group that she's usually going to every cruise, and this time she kind of just decided not to go because of blah, blah, blah circumstances. And she asked me, would you like to go? And I told her, yes, I want to go, of course. Could you please wait until tomorrow? I need to talk to my relatives, making sure that I will arrange everything, and then I'll get your ticket. How much does it? So she's giving me details. And again, kind of, I ended in conversation with her. Can you wait until either later tonight, like end of the day, or tomorrow morning, the latest? And she said, yes, absolutely. Take your time, talk to your relatives. So I'm talking to my relatives, talking to my mom, arranging everything, kind of get approval from everybody that everything will be taken care of. And next morning, first thing I did when I woke up, I texted her, "Hey, Rebecca, I'm going. So how do we deal next with kind of transferring the ticket, paying you, Even though I thought that the price of her space in a cabin is quite high. And she said, "Oh, this ticket had been sold yesterday at 3 p.m. And I'm like, "How come?" You
Oh.
could understand my kind of like, oh my gosh, like, and I did ask her, like, "How come? Why you did not text me?" And she said, "Oh, the lady I know, kind of, she's from California. She really wanted this, and she already paid me, and So she was kind of focusing on that. The ticket is taken care of. Don't worry." And for me, it was like, how come? How could you do this? We had been friends, like Abraham friends, for so long, And I started to text this, kind of exactly what I just said, because that had been in my head.
Yeah.
And somehow in the process of texting her, I just realized that, like, oh my gosh, I'm turning into negatively responding, negatively thinking about her, kind of blaming her, And of course, I deleted what I typed. And I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, erase all of this. I don't want this. Abraham, I even did not want to talk about this. So erase all of this. Let's eliminate this. And I'm sitting and thinking, what should I do next? Now, when I try to eliminate all of those negative thoughts, I have this space in my head, and I just envision that I have a space in my head where those thoughts are supposed to land. Now the space is empty. I need to fill it in with something. And I don't have anything because kind of nothing good is coming into my head just because, what happened. And I am still experiencing this emotion. And then I'm like, Abraham, I need your help. What can I do right now? I want to start thinking positively, but nothing comes into my head. And then I thought about Rampage of Appreciation. And I thought, okay, I'll do this. And I'm sitting again on the edge of my bed. And I'm like, what can I appreciate as of right now? And I started like, well, I know that Rebecca is really good Abrahamster. I know that she's a nice person. We had been friends for so long, and I do appreciate her for so many things, good things she had done kind of for me, for the group, And I just started to speak louder, kind of out loud, all of this, like, what can I appreciate about her? What can I appreciate about me being the Abrahamster? Kind of having this knowledge that I can use in this situation, kind of right now at this moment. And more I was speaking about this, I was like turning into, okay, universe, Abraham, I love you. I know that you love me. I appreciate this so much. And on and on and on. And then I said, Abraham, I know if you love me so much, as I always felt, that means that if this opportunity is not for me, that's how you arrange that. And I appreciate this. So if you arrange that I wouldn't get this kind of quite pricey ticket, that means that there is something else, even better for me, waiting. I just need to trust you. Okay, I appreciate that. Kind of hold on the new opportunities. Show me the new opportunities. I really appreciate that you have that. Okay, finally, I started to appreciate more myself, my knowledge, my trust into the universe, and And guess what? The very next day, the office called me. No, somebody called me and told that they just talked to the office and they realized that there is a ticket available. So I'm calling to the office. letting them know. They said, okay, we will call you back because as of right now, we need to clear up something. So later on that day, they called me and they said, we have a ticket in the two persons cabin, but this is inside cabin, kind of, which is not the same type of cabin that you would get with that ticket, but it costs much less. So they gave me the price. I thought, you know what, I don't care if it is inside cabin, because I would be coming into knowing myself. I thought I would be coming just to sleep there and take a shower.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was so grateful for this. Of course, I ran a rampage of appreciation on that person who called me from the office. And I was waiting until they let me know, because there was somebody ahead of me, and they said, if they wouldn't pick up this ticket, that then next in line is you, and you will have that. The very next day, so I came home, I was so excited. I tell everything to my mom, and she said, now when you're so excited, I want to go.
Oh, jeez. That's so funny.
So the very next day morning, which was Saturday, I am writing an email to the office that my circumstances changing, and now I have my mom, and is it possible to find the whole cabin just for me? Who knows? But I really, really believe that Abraham will arrange everything. So when they calling me back, they still speaking about the ticket, which is inside cabin. I'm agreeing to take it. And then I'm asking a question like, did you see my email? What is your email about? And I'm telling her about my mom. And she said, when did you write it down? I'm giving her exact time, exact day, exact time. And she's saying, you wouldn't believe this, Yelena. And I'm like, what is it? She said, now when you saying this and I'm looking at everything, you wrote an email at 10:34 a.m. And at 10:50, we received an email from a couple who is no longer able to come to the cruise. And we were thinking what we're going to do with this cabin, because how we would find, we hardly had been finding single people, and now the whole cabin. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Let's do this. So when they gave me the price was like twice of that ticket that Rebecca gave me, because the cabin was kind of with the balcony, all good stuff. And I'm saying, well, since this is kind of the very last opportunity, would you give me the discount? And she's like, I have no idea. It's not for me to decide. Who is deciding? My boss. Okay, go talk to the boss. And she is saying, okay, I'll call you back. She's going to the boss. And I'm so excited about everything. And I actually asked for the discount just because I was so excited and I just wanted to play.
Why not
I
ask?
almost asked this question out of kind of like humorously. And she took it seriously. And so I'm telling everything my mom, and she's like, why you did not buy this whole cabin? And I told her, because blah, 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 I'm just playing. And she's like, are you out of your mind? Call them back and say that you agreed to pay full price. I said, no, I just want a discount now, since this happened, I want a discount. And my mom is asking, what kind of discount you want? I said, well, the best way I would go with 1,000 as a discount for the whole cabin. And she said, if they will give you 500, take it. I said, okay, deal. So in 40 minutes, she's calling me. And all this time, I'm just kind of sitting at the table right here on my place and just going with rampage of appreciation to everything, to God, to the universe, to myself, to Abraham, to this lady, to the whole office, to the Abraham Hicks community, just everything, to the Esther. So she's calling me back in 40 minutes. And this is the line she said, I talked to my boss, and my boss asked if you would be willing to accept from us $800 of a discount, $800 of a discount. So amazing.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Ah, what a great story. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it just kept going. It kept
Yeah.
going with the discount and everything else. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yes.
How fun.
Yes, absolutely.
And even the energy of you telling the story is the energy of a rampage of appreciation. It's so cool.
You know, I love those stories because each and every time you tell this story and you relive in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I put into the chat
Yes.
this coming Wednesday, in 2 days, we have our Manifest and Co-Create Your Awesome Life at 6:30, same time. I wrote down October 11th, of course, October 25th. So
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
yeah,
So in 2 days on Wednesday.
Yeah, so
yes.
it's a link to the website, to the meetup, and as well as shortcut, actual Zoom link, actual meeting ID and passcode that we use.
Yes. And then also next week on Thursday, I believe at 6:30 is Leo's group for Law of Attraction and Beyond, correct, Leo? On the 2nd of November?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes. And then on Wednesday, the 1st is Money in the Law of Attraction with Sonia.
Is correct.
Okay. Well, I think we are going to have some fun over the next 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to hearing about all of our fun stories when we come back to meet again. And hopefully I will be able to make it this Wednesday. I'm going to put all my efforts into that. I may be late, but I should be there. And thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.
Thank you so
Remember that you're
much.
so awesome.
Thank you. See you next time.
Christina,
Bye.
when can we come and hear you sing?
I have to put that to, oh, you know what? There's another announcement too with, as soon as I start getting some dates, I will let you guys know. We're just starting to ramp up. We have four covers and 2 originals now, and we've got more in the works. And then, so yeah, I'll definitely keep everybody informed, and we're definitely going to be making videos of at least our originals, and I'll be posting those on the YouTube. So as soon as some of that's up, I'll be able to share those with you guys. And
I'll be driving that beautiful Highway 10 from Tucson to Phoenix to see you, a star. I can't wait.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then, well, you never know. We may have a venue in Tucson too. And then also for anyone that is in the area and might be interested, my next Energy Under the Stars is on the 11th of November. So for those of you that might be in the Phoenix area, and are interested in that, on November 5th, Sunday, November 5th, I believe is the first Sunday of the month. I'll be doing the guided meditation from 6 to 8 here at my place. So reach out to me and let me know if you're interested in participating in that as well.
Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.